What's up, Brian? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Not really sure what all I'm going to work on here tonight, but we'll start right where we left off last stream, right here. With a crowing rooster. You're wide awake. Yeah, I pretty much am too. Uh, it was. I'm still on a pretty backward schedule. I'm trying to get it straightened out, but it's hard to just do it overnight. Definitely, weather's warming up. There's more projects. I gotta get the mower fixed. And got a lot of stuff to do. I'm almost out of this too. Goofy Kiddo 21. Thanks for coming in. I'm working on this sheath. I was working on this the other day. I got it all stitched up and burnished my edges, and I'm about to oil it. And I'm gonna set it aside and let it dry for a day or two. It's for this knife right here that I made. So I made this knife mostly all on live streams. It's 1084 steel with burlap micarta, copper pins on this one. And I'm just finishing the sheath for it. So there they are together. So I'm about to oil this one and then set it aside, and then I'm gonna start on a different sheath for this knife, which is the same materials. It's a little bit different shape. It's got a lanyard tube on this one. That's what I'm working on. Today's stream, Basil Hayden's ain't got back to me with that sponsorship. So today's stream is brought to you by Fireball. Maybe they'll hook me up. How do I change? I still ain't got it. Gotta get to all messages. There we go. All right. So this is what I'm gonna oil it with. neat's foot oil. Wolfgang, good morning. Not sure where you are. It's almost midnight here. I'm in the U.S. It's 11:38. Thanks for coming in. That's what I'm working on here for, well, just for the brief moment. It's not going to take me long. Once I oil it, it's just got to sit and dry. It's hard to do this one-handed. This is a leather sheath I'm working on for a knife that I made. I can show you all that here in a second once I get done putting this oil on here and my hands aren't full. Yes, I stitched that by hand. So there's the front side, and I'll show you the back too. There's one spot I'm not real happy with on the back side and the stitching, but it's pretty good. There's one little wobble. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a compliment. There is some crazy folks out there, and I can't even lie. I find some of it entertaining. I get stuck watching some of that crazy crap. But yeah, I agree. There's some weird stuff out in these, especially in these. Now I'm gonna have a chicken crowing. Uh, in these vertical streams, yeah, you run across some weird, interesting stuff. I do have a rooster in the shop with me, so maybe not as normal now. So I got eating chicken. Take a shot. Richard, that real shit. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. I mean, some of it's entertaining. Some of it I can't even repeat, like what I've seen. I'm afraid to even say. But I see some crazy stuff on there. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Have y'all seen the dude with? I don't know if he does it all the time, but I saw a guy with a toilet seat around his neck, and he was like just like crying and hitting himself, and it was pretty disturbing. It's neat's foot oil. That's what I'm putting on it. So, and then I'll let that sit on there for about a day and dry now. And then I'm gonna put, and then I will put this on top. This will be the final finish. Acrylic resin. It's kind of, it's not, I wouldn't say waterproof, but it gives it a little more resistance to the stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's enough oil. It's a little blotchy. It'll even out as it dries. You can tell it did kind of darken it a little. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's weird. It's a weird throw. There's some interesting stuff too, though. It's not all crazy. Okay. So a couple people asking. This is the knife that's gonna go in there. I don't want to get oil all over it, so I'm not gonna put it in there right now. But I made the knife. Just finishing up the sheath. It's got it, like I said, it's got to sit for a day and dry. And then it'll get that last coat. I'm dropping it, and then it'll be done. We did this. We stamped this basket weave on a live stream. So. Here's the knife. I mean, I don't know. I just showed it. Maybe this is the knife. I made the knife too. It's 1084 burlap micarta, copper pins. It's got a Scotch-Brite belt finish on the blades there. Got my little maker's mark. And then what I'm about to start on now, this one's, I mean, it's all the same materials. It's a little different shape than the other one, but and it's got the lanyard tube, brass pins. I'm gonna start on a sheath for this one next. And I'll probably do the basket weave on it also. I need to find a pencil. That's a good question. I like a belt loop. How about yourself? I don't like, I'm not a dangler man. I like it high and tight. But now I'm curious if you know, I never really made any sheaths like that. I probably should, but I guess it's just not my style. I like doing the saddle style or whatever too, where you got like two cutouts in the leather and the belt goes through that way. Let's see here. All right. Like the belt loop too, Brian. Yeah, I like a belt loop. Now you got me thinking I could do this one differently, but I don't think I'm gonna. All right, anyway. Start by making a pattern. All right, fair enough. I understand that. It's not really me, but I don't know. Maybe I'll think of that next time. Next sheath, maybe I'll make one like that. Straight edge. Right on. All right, that should Should work. I can't answer that question for you. Thank you. These are burlap micarta on these two. I don't have any more knives out here right now. All the rest of them are in the house. But kind of a different style. This one's kind of got like the facets on the edge, pretty flat sides. And this one's a little more rounded. So this one's pretty thin. This thing's crazy sharp. I use, alright. I'm gonna be starting a new knife in a couple days. I'll show you around. You seem to be new here. I'll show you kind of some of the things I use. So I use this to grind the profiles and the bevels. I use this to grind my bevels. So you kind of bolt your knife down to this little jig here, and then you can control your angle of the jig by using that knob. And then I have a table for this sander that you rest this jig on and grind the bevels. I drill all the holes for everything there, and this cuts metal. So I first put my blank, whatever I'm gonna make, comes in a bar of steel like this. I'll draw what I'm gonna make, and I will cut it roughly out on this, and then I'll grind it to its final shape on this, and bevel it with this jig and this, and then I will heat treat them in that oven, dunk them in that oil. And I'll come back to this and do some more grinding after the heat treat and the temper. And handles, again, a lot of handle work on this. This is kind of the main thing I use. Yeah, it's a bevel jig. That's what most people call it. There's a little more to it, but that's all the basic steps. There's other steps in between. I'm gonna probably start on a new knife soon. Yeah, it's a heat treating oven. It's pretty cool. All right, so. This is all the leather I got left. Still make a couple of these probably. Nah, that ain't happening. I'll take a sip, but I'm not gonna fast chug the Fireball. Today's stream is sponsored through by a Fireball whiskey. Just waiting for them to hit me up, send me a couple bottles. I don't know if you've seen how it was all curled up. Just kind of. Yeah, I generally do them like that. I don't know. I've done some with a strap, but I find like this, you don't need a strap for this. This knife, when you put that knife in here, it ain't falling out. Unless someone's like shaking you upside down by your feet. And even then, I don't, it's going to take quite a few shakes. About 10 years, about the time I started making knives, I started making sheaths. I mean, I could buy spring steel. I don't know if you're talking about like taking like an actual spring. What I do is what they call stock removal. I think you might be talking about like forging. They're different. Forging, you take a piece of metal and hammer it down to what you want. I kind of start with the thickness I want, anyways, usually, and then I grind up the knife from there. But I could buy like, I mean, spring steel. You could buy a spring steel and make a knife out of it. You can buy like a bar of it, like I got over there. I still need to make one more piece. Yeah, yeah, that's just, I mean, it's a different process. That's where he's getting his steel. I mean, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of things. It's almost like controversies. Some people say forging's better. Some people say stock removal's better. There's arguments for both. So you're talking like, well, imagine this is the sheath, right? You're talking like take this and like sew it up on here. Something like that, huh? Or rivet it or whatever, however you're gonna attach it, but right. Yeah, that's not what I'm gonna do on this one, but I might do it on one in the future. Let's see. Yeah, I got you. So like a little loop and then a ring and then a loop, longer loop to go around the belt with like a snap or something, or I guess just a loop even. You put your belt through. I got you. Hmm. I did not stab myself that time, but I've said before, this is the tool I stab myself with more than any other tool. And it's not like a normal, it hurts, bleeds, it kind of just like rips stuff open. that scrubbing stuff? Water. Yeah, it's just water. It's a little dirty because I've been using it for a couple days, but yeah, it's just water with a little sponge. This, both these sides might need beveled again, but this side definitely will. I just wanted to take off. There was still a little bit of my pin on there I wanted to get off. I do want to bevel this. Is going to be the front side. To double check, make sure I was right in saying that. Triple check. Right on, man. You're not. Ask all the questions you want. It doesn't bug me at all. Um, it gives me something to talk about sometimes. Sometimes it gets a little boring. I run out of stuff to say, and no one's checking. So don't feel bad. I lost my pattern already. Let's see. What's up, Cola? I forgot. It's too late. Dang it. We're just gonna have to not tape this one. How long have I been going? I'm tempted to just stop for the night. I should have taped this backside before I got it wet. The tape ain't gonna stick now, and so that when I stamp the basket weave on here, it starts like mushrooming out all the leather. It kind of holds it, makes it hold its shape. So yeah, I'm trying to. It ain't. I don't think I'm gonna. I mean, I can try. I don't think tape's gonna stick to that now. I might just let this dry overnight and start on it again tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, I like to. Also, once it's wet and you go flipping it upside down, man, you can really mess it up if there's anything on here. It'll dig right in. Let's see. Yeah, I do the basket weave stamp. Here's two of them. Here's this one's a little bigger. I was gonna probably use this smaller one. And you do a series of stamps across this thing in a certain pattern. Basically, you stamp it, and then the next one, you move over a row and you only touch a corner. Here. You stamp one like that, and then the next one you're going to move over a row and go in just one corner of it. Normally you would mark a line here to keep this straight when you're getting started. And the next one's like that. And then the next one I'll put one corner right in there. I'm crooked. I didn't use a line to get started. I'm already crooked. But that's how you get that over under. And then when you come back to the next row, this spot right here will get a full stamp. Even though it's really crooked. And you just continue on with that pattern. And then when I get all the way around it, I take this tool and you kind of do your little border around it, and it looks like it's like going under the border, kind of. Like that. Yeah, you can tell it's already soaked up most of that oil. It actually feels pretty much dry. It's a little bit back here still, but anyway, I do got one more thing I can do on here, and then And then we are going to call it a night, I think. Put my little maker's mark on my belt loop. I'm gotten so used to putting that on my loop that when I have made a few things that didn't have belt loops, I forgot to stamp them. I gotta quit doing that. I gotta make sure if it don't have a belt loop, I gotta put a stamp on it somewhere else. But I've totally forgot to do it. So here's the basic gist. This is gonna get sewn on somewhere right about there, right in here, just a little more. That'll get sewed on there, and then this thing will fold around. This will be basket weave here, and then this will fold around, and that'll be the front side, so to speak, and that'll be the back. And then it'll get, just like this, and then it'll get sewn down the edge. What's up, Indy? Good to see you. I was just ending it. I was gonna do some more, but I moved ahead too fast and missed a step, and I could just wing it, but I don't want to. It always moves it around just enough that it don't fit the same anymore. So I normally tape this backside, so then when I stamp it and it smushes all the leather out, it doesn't change the shape too much. And if you tape it, it does a pretty good job. But if you don't tape it, it gets just enough bigger that it doesn't fit as good as you think it's gonna. So I'm gonna wait. So if I mess it up and don't work right and it fits loose when I get done, I'll be upset and I'll make myself make it again. So I don't want to have to do it again. And this is the welt. This piece will get glued in here in between. This piece, when you slide the knife in the sheath, the blade will go right here. So if you don't put this in, the blade basically can just go right onto the stitches and cut the stitches. So. Hand sewn, yes. Yes, it'll be hand sewn. Here's the one I did. Hand sewn this one together 2 days ago on a live stream. So I sew this all in one piece here on the belt loop. It's in the middle here. It's not attached because it's a belt loop. But the parts here in the center are just decorative. It just looks cleaner, I think, with the stitch going all the way around instead of like a square here and a square here. I kind of like it going all the way around, even though from here to here and here to here, those stitches don't do anything, but they look good. And it's on the back side of the sheath, so some people think I'm crazy, but it's worth it to me. All right, well, that's cool because I know what I'm doing tomorrow. So when I come back tomorrow, we'll definitely tape this first, and then we'll probably put the Reslene on this first and finish this one for good. And then we'll tape this and stamp some basket weave, and we'll have to let that dry for a night until the next day. So I don't know. I got these needles. Well, first of all, I poked the holes first with the poke the holes with this, a mixture of this tool here, this doesn't quite go through 3 layers sometimes. So I go through 2 with this, and then I use just a regular cheap awl. I'm pretty sure I got this at Tandy in like a beginner leather kit. And then these are the needles I use. I don't know what they call them. I got them at Tandy Leather. I got two or three sizes. I use the bigger ones a lot of times, only because it's easier for me to thread them. If I could get the little ones threaded easier, I would use them even more, because it is easier to pull them through the holes. So anyway, y'all have a good night. I will be back tomorrow. Today's Monday. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow. And I'll stamp this basket weave. That probably won't take too long. And then, I don't know, if I can't find something else to do, well, that'll be the end of it. If anybody wants to see my Etsy, click my picture, or right where my name is on the top left. And my Etsy link is right there on my YouTube homepage. So, I'd appreciate it. And then hit that subscribe. I don't know when I'm doing another giveaway, but we just did one, and I'll be doing another one at some point. Some milestone of subscribers. I'm not sure yet. But, all right. Good night, y'all.